Alright guys, how's it going? It's K Cars, and today I'm going to be talking about my first impressions of the 2016 Corvette Z06 with the Z07 package. So I just picked up the car about half an hour ago. I took some time to myself without recording anything, just to make sure I can get used to the car properly before actually trying to drive it. My first actual impression was this car is tiny on the inside. On the outside, it looks huge. It takes up so much space, has so much presence on the road. But then once you actually go to sit inside, it's like so cramped. The steering wheel is so small. But that's what I like. I like having a compact car like that. I was literally just stopped at a store like a minute ago, and I literally parked as far away as possible, and a police car parked literally right behind me when I came out. So, I mean, this car definitely does attract a lot of attention. It's all black. Like I said, the Z07 package. Transparent roof. Not sure if you can see that very well. But yeah, this car is freaking amazing. I haven't gotten the chance to actually like give it some gas yet, because I'm, still trying to get used to it. I don't want to go too crazy just yet. But first impressions are definitely awesome. I've just been driving around in touring mode right now. I haven't put it in sport or track yet. The exhaust is set to track mode though, so always got to have that. Another thing that I realized is that this screen isn't the best. Like, it has some lag. It's kind of hard to use. It's not like the Uconnect system in Dodge Challengers where everything's laid out really easily. You can read everything really nice, and just a lot easier to use than this. But I mean, honestly, I'm not going to be using this thing too much, because I mean, the exhaust is always going to be in track mode pretty much. I'm probably not going to use the navigation or the PDR or Bluetooth or anything, and I don't listen to music while driving either, so it's not a huge deal for me. Another thing that's pretty cool, you guys probably all know this, but the screen that goes down, so you can hide some stuff in there. I got my wallet, sunglasses, and stuff like that. It's really cool. So yeah, the suspension, when it comes to that, I thought it was going to be a lot more stiff, but what I've come to realize is that it kind of like floats over the bumps. But when you actually need a stiff suspension, it like is stiff. I don't know how to explain it any other way, but like when you're just cruising around going over bumps, it soaks up the bumps pretty well. But if you're like going around tight turns, then it's really tight. That's amazing. The paddle response is actually really slow. So I'm in 5th gear right now. Paddle, paddle, 3rd gear, paddle. There's that cop that parked behind me at the store. So 2nd gear right now. You'll be able to hear like the paddle response. So I'll show you when I click it. It's not terrible, but it definitely could be a lot better. This thing shows you the speed limit, so that's kind of cool. But it says 35, and I just saw a sign that said 25. But up there it says 35. So I'm guessing it's 35. Yeah, I would love to take this car to a track, like drag strip and road course. I would love to take this car to its full potential, because around the city you literally can't do anything. Like, even if you do get an open road, you could probably take this car like half its full potential, honestly. And I don't even know what that is. Like, I haven't gotten on this car, so I don't know how fast it actually feels yet. Another thing that I noticed is that these like fender things, I don't really know what they're called. They're not actual fenders, but like the things like the wheel wells, I guess, the wheel arches, if that's what you want to call them, they stick out a lot. That's one of the first things I noticed too when I first got in here. So they do take up quite a bit of visibility. Then blind spots, I guess, aren't terrible, but there is a huge blind spot, so I guess they might be terrible. Then to the left, they are pretty bad. That's actually really cool. I didn't think like the car speed limits that they showed were actually accurate, but they are. Like, it changed right whenever I passed the sign. And here's a nice tight corner going around here. Nice little turn coming around here. I'm not gonna go too fast. I'm just going the speed limit right now. But you can definitely tell it's really firm when you're going around turns. I'm already in love, guys. Haven't even been driving this car for an hour, and it's already like crazy. Speed limit 35, and that's what the heads-up display says, and it also says it right here by the speed. So when you're comparing the Z06 to the Challenger Scat Pack, I would say the suspension, I don't know, I feel like the suspension on the Challenger is a little bit more stiff, because you feel the bumps more in the Challenger than this car. At least that's in my experience, that's what I think. Might not be the same for everyone, but also, I know I already told you guys about this roof thing, but it's pretty cool. And it's like shaded or tinted too, so the sun doesn't like come shining on you. Visibility out of the mirrors. So, side mirrors is pretty good. The rear view mirror isn't that great. So with the Z07 package, you do get like a clear wicker bill that kind of connects the two spoilers, I guess. Not sure if you can see that at all through the GoPro, but there's like a clear section that connects the two like wings on the spoiler. It's supposed to help with downforce. It does take up a lot of visibility, even though it is clear. It still messes it up a little bit. It's not terrible though, but like the rear window is tiny, so you really can't see too much either way. Even if you do take that clear part off, it would basically be the same. You just have like a more clear view of the bottom part, because that's where the wicker bill goes. I love the carbon fiber piece on the steering wheel. The leather kind of looks a bit old, like worn and torn. I'm not sure what the Alcantara would have looked like, but this leather on here, it looks kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of cheap plastic too. Hey, you're not really paying for a good interior, you're paying for the performance of this car, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, the interior is amazing. I love the way it looks. Like, I do love it. I'm not trying to like complain too much about it. I'm just telling you guys what I think, and like I do love it. I love the shifter. The shift boot is leather, and you can tell it's real. And of course, you got your Z06 badge, which says 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. I will go more in depth into all like the infotainment system and the the different driving modes whenever I film the review video of this car. But like I said, this video is just meant to show you guys my first impressions of the Z06. And so far, they are amazing. Only complaint, like I said, is the interior feels kind of cheap, but then again, I still love it. It's amazing. It's not a Rolls Royce, it's a performance car. Another thing is that the trunk release is, like, there's no, at least from what I know, is there's no actual trunk release on the trunk. You have to come inside here and hit a button. But yeah, now that I actually have to like look at the blind spots, they actually are there. Like, they're pretty bad. I wasn't expecting them to be this bad, but yeah, they definitely are there. Another thing that I'm noticing is that the seat, like, it does hold you in very well, but after a while it gets very uncomfortable. Like, I'm having some lower back pain right now. And I know that's normal for a sports car, but like, I've only been driving for like an hour. Like I keep saying, you don't buy a Corvette Z06 for the comfort or luxury, you buy it for the performance. Oh yeah. Honda Accord with chrome wheels. That's what I like to see. And city driving in this car is actually really good. It's really enjoyable, except for the fact that the seats are so uncomfortable. My back is killing me, but hey, I'm in a Z06, so it doesn't matter, man. Got a speed bump up here. We'll see how we'll take it. Gotta go slow for this. It's kind of high. Didn't scrape, so that's good. I'm not really sure how this car works with the whole like cylinder deactivation. I feel like maybe if you're in third gear or above, it'll be on 4 cylinders, because that's kind of what I've been noticing. It sounds like a 4-cylinder. It does not sound like a V8 at all if I'm in third gear. But as soon as it downshifts to second gear, then you can definitely tell it's a V8 right away. I don't know if you have to be in sport mode or track mode for it to not do that. I'm just not sure how it works. Even in manual mode, it still uses 4 cylinders until you get to second or first gear. That's when it runs on 8. Touring mode right now, sport mode, it's still in 4-cylinder. Throttle response is definitely better. I gave it a little bit of gas right there. It stayed in 4-cylinder mode. Let's put it in track. So, I mean, step on a little bit right here. About the same as sport. You literally cannot hear the exhaust at all if it's in 4 cylinders. So yeah, I guess it works. I guess the whole like cylinder deactivation feature works in all modes, not just eco and touring. I know there is a trick to disable it, but I don't know how to do it, honestly. I did watch a video a while back about how to do that. I think it was by Bladed Angel on YouTube. He put out a video saying that the whole cylinder deactivation feature is actually pretty bad for the engine, so he made a tutorial on how to disable it. If you step on the gas, the whole 8 cylinders will kick in. For some reason, back there, I guess I just wasn't hitting the gas hard enough. It was staying in 4-cylinder mode while I was trying to hit the gas. But here, I'll demonstrate a little bit for you guys. It's in 4-cylinder mode right now. I'll step on the gas a little bit. You can hear it definitely kicked in right there. As with any car on the highway, it's going to be much smoother. And this car is like really easy to control at high speeds. It stays planted the whole time. If you guys can see how much I'm turning the wheel right now, that's how much play there is in the steering. Just that much. You can tell that like even a sports car like that, it looks high off the ground if you're in a Z06. This thing's extremely low. When you're getting into it, you literally have to like sit down on the ground. It's awesome. Another thing I love about the Z06 is that everything's so like driver focused. It's kind of like a fighter jet. I know everyone calls the Lamborghini Aventador a fighter jet, but this car is like that too. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it looks huge on the outside, but on the inside it's really small and compact, and everything's driver focused, just like a fighter jet. Like you have all your controls right here. I don't know, it's just so like planted to the road. And yeah, you have controls everywhere. Like it's easy to control. You can see, I'm not gonna do anything crazy here, but you can see like the steering is very good. You definitely get a lot of feel in there. And yeah, I just love this thing so much. I can't even, like, my words probably aren't gonna show you guys how much I actually love this car, but it's amazing. This car is a really good all-around performance car. If you just want to cruise around like the city or the beach like I was doing like a few hours ago, it's great for that. It's definitely not comfortable at all. But then you can jump on the highway, put the AC on, have your vented seats, and just cruise around here too. And it's actually more comfortable on the highway for some reason. Not really sure why, but it feels a lot more stable too. When comparing it to the Challenger, it's definitely more stable. I mean, obviously, the Challenger's a boat, weighs 4,200 pounds. This thing, I think it's like 3,500. So you got a 700-pound advantage right here with this car. And yeah, I can't say enough great things about this car. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that you really don't feel the speed of this car. Like on the highway, you could be going 90 or 100 and it would feel like 70. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind. Like if there's cops, you really need to be watching your speed on the highway. You don't even feel any kind of body roll or anything in this car. It's just great. It's amazing. You can't hear anything except for the road noise, which is good. Like there's no drone at all. If I had somebody in the passenger seat, I could easily have a conversation with them. Oh my god. What the heck? Okay, so that was my first time flooring the car. My heart literally exploded out of my chest. At first there was a little bit of a lag. Like I put my foot down and it took some time to actually downshift, but once it did, it took straight off. I literally got to 100 in like a second. Like that's literally what it felt like, a freaking second to get to 100. I was going like 75 maybe. Oh my god. I've never experienced a car that fast. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for this video. Like I said, first impressions are amazing. It's not a luxury car. It's not made for comfort. Like I said, the interior feels kind of cheap. This doesn't even feel like leather. It's just kind of just cheap plastic. The steering wheel is pretty cool. I like the carbon fiber on the bottom. Blind spots are horrible. Visibility out of the front is all right. Side mirrors are all right, but like I said, there's huge blind spots, and then the rear view mirror is not that great. It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark, and it has that like wicker bill thing. This roof thing's pretty cool. It has some really nice storage in the back there, as you can see all my camera gear. And the reason the visibility from the rear view mirror is so bad is because, as you guys know, like the back is slanted down like this, so literally you have like that much room to see. I don't know if you can really see the rear view right there, but it's pretty bad. You can't see much, especially because of that wicker bill in there. Even though it is clear, it still kind of messes up your visibility. But yeah, this is an awesome car, and I can't wait to record some more videos for you guys. So you guys definitely want to subscribe if you want to see the review video, pros and cons, like 5 things I hate, 5 things I love. And I have a few more videos in mind that I want to film with this car. So if you guys liked this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.